Hiya, and welcome back to Moonlight Castle. The game that teaches us that time to just completely ignore Liam and hang out with Patrice all day. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Couldn't be in such chaos. Thank you for clipping that. Are you still going to step away? I want to keep spending time with you, but I understand if learning about this destroyed your interest. You're saving them for later, oh no. No, of course not. I thought you hated me! That's why I decided to... Well, it doesn't matter anymore. The point is, nothing has changed between us. On the contrary, I feel closer to you now that I understand what you went through. At least one of us was able to move on. I'll still need a bit more... I'm not someone who'd ditch you after being asked not to. You still offered me your help with the castle, didn't you? He smiled at me, then followed it up with a wink. I was happy to see this being resolved on his end. Yeah, what I said still stands. I'm going to help you tonight to overcome your fears. Tonight. Yeah. I could hear his foot tapping the floor, indicating the anxiety he suddenly manifested upon being reminded of the castle. You don't have to go tonight. I know. And you don't have to go with Liam. Any other day will be fine, really. He didn't seem convinced by my words, which was strange. Thought I made some really good points there. I would support him, but this place doesn't feel like a generic abandoned building. I thought about my discussion with Liam this morning. Thought about the knife we found in the church we explored. I've wanted to bring it up for a while, but I've never got my chance to do it. What should we do? Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Still a little pissed about it, but... yeah. I'm hydrating. Okay. We're gonna warn the kitty cat. I won't stop you from going, but I have to share with you what I saw that night. Patrice didn't reply, so I continued. You should know that I started hallucinating after finding the knife. I told him how that felt, how realistic it was to me, and mentioned the things Liam told me about it. Patrice was already growing uneasy, holding his arms together to contain the shaking. I don't know how much truth there is to this story, maybe he exaggerated it, but I have the feeling that not everything is a lie. I told him about Liam's knife and how they were a perfect match, and the letter he was given. If you feel like backing out, this is the moment to do so, to avoid getting ourselves into trouble. This medium business felt dangerous to me, and Patrice didn't have what it takes to face it at his current level. He dove under the chair to seek protection, but he was far too big for it, no matter how badly he shrunk and made himself smaller. Patrice... The chair wasn't even touching the ground anymore. I need a moment. It's okay. I'm sorry for making you upset. You're fine. I didn't feel fine about it, regardless of his reassurance. Would you like something to drink? I have no alcohol on me, though. Damn it! I chuckled and dropped the chair. Then he pointed at my bed, asking permission to join, and I agreed. I have another reason to go to the castle tonight, besides overcoming my trauma. Is that why you're being so stubborn about it? He hushed us both down and moved his paws accordingly. Afraid of anyone but me hearing this. Just keep this to yourself, okay? Should have asked Liam beforehand, but I didn't get the opportunity to do so. Is this about Liam? I thought it'd be something personal to you. Kinda. It's not easy to find, but it involves us both. I want you to know so you can also understand me better. You're really sweet. I understand. Go ahead. Oh, yeah? Yeah, what's going on? Drax. Opinions of Patrice? He's cute. He's cute. But, in my opinion at least, not nearly as cute as Liam, but granted, I'm biased. I am biased towards little shits. I am biased towards fucking pranksters. I'm biased. So, that's my bias talking. If we're not involving the bias... Yeah. If we're not involving the bias, then... he still would fall short of Ryan to me. I mean, in case the Kill Bill lyrics weren't enough. No. I'm being serious. Like, in case those lyrics aren't enough, that should tell you exactly how I think. And I killed the chat. Sorry. You're really sweet. I understand. Go ahead. I'll say the easy part first. Liam and I were childhood friends, sorta. Rip chat. I know. We grew close because he never treated me differently after learning about my trauma. He spoke nicely of it all. Patrice talked in the same way an old man would recall his past, with pride and joy. Part of me doesn't want to take this seriously. He was a homie and I liked that. We drifted apart because of his family. They were controlling assholes and wanted to decide everything for him. I still blame them for the way he treats people. Oh, that means you've met his sister before, right? It was more than that. She was my first love. I felt awful for him after hearing that. After learning that. Must have been a tough pill to swallow then. Their family destroyed everything. His voice soured and turned emotional. We could have been a happy trio. Could have helped Liam unlearn the awful behavior he picked up by living in that house. But they didn't like me. They saw me as a threat because I was trying to help them see that their home life was toxic and manipulative. Regret, anger, hate. He gave it all away for me to see. So they got rid of me first, and meeting up in secret became too hard for us. We were too young to escape from their control. Then it was her turn. She tried fighting them to protect Liam and ended up being kicked out of the house. That strained our relationship. I couldn't help them, and I didn't have the means to protect them. It was painful for me to sit there and accept being powerless, just like he felt back then. We broke up and I lost contact with the two. He's too pure for the world. Nah, that's Ryan. I'm not denying that Patrice is pure, I'm just saying Ryan is pure. He's the sapphire to my ruby. We broke up and I lost contact with the two. Is Ryan not pure? He randomly showed up at my gym one day, but I never dared bring anything up because he was behaving as if that never happened. It hurts knowing that she disappeared one day and I could have prevented that. It feels like I lost them both because I turned my back on them. What were you supposed to do? You were too young for this. I understood those feelings more than anybody else could have. The feeling of running away because you don't have a choice. I'm sorry, I can't help thinking about it. Thing is, I owed it to him. I owed it to her, and this is the one thing I can't afford to run away from. I placed my hand on his knee to give him some well-deserved comfort. Thank you for sharing this with me. I understand that trying to change your mind was obviously wrong. Patrice shook his head and smiled at me. Nah, you were coming from a place of concern. I'm happy you said that. Liam stopped using her name ever since she disappeared, but I think that's disrespectful to her and her memory. We should honor her instead and keep her alive in our hearts. She deserves it for all the good she spread in this world. Did she? I didn't know her age specifically, but I was assuming her to be a couple of years older than Liam. She was an angel, Joel. I've never met someone so kind and selfless. Her personality alone charmed me. The fuck is this? Hang on. I'm checking something. Yeah, what is her name? I'm not adding anyone. She was an angel, Joel. I've never met someone so kind and selfless. Her personality alone charmed me. There was a nostalgic tone in his voice, a longing filled with sadness. I'd like you to know her name because she deserves to be remembered, but I need to discuss this with Liam first and have that infamous talk. I'll get it done tomorrow for sure. Patrice took a long exhale, clearly worn out by all that talking he just did. That was one big conversation. True, but I'm happy we had it. Same. I was still a tiny bit shy, but learning about his life weakened that feeling. Patrice's phone suddenly started beeping. Oh, fuck! Is it that late already? He jumped up, checked his notifications, and stared back at me. Did you have plans before the meeting? I wanted to stop by my house to let my mom know what I'd be doing tonight and some other basic family interactions. I won't hold you back then. I'll see you at Russell's place. Stood up and opened the door for him. I didn't mean to cut this conversation short, sorry. He started jogging on the spot, warming himself up for what I assumed was going to be a big sprint towards his house. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow I should have some free time, so keep yourself available. Yeah, that sounds awesome. See you tonight. I watched him rush to the staircase and disappear out of my sight. Then I heard that faint sound coming from the main gate opening and closing. Little chuckle came through. I was thinking about him and how easily he was capable of bouncing back. He didn't let any obstacle stop him, always trying to find another way through, and I liked that very much. Oh god, a thought just popped into my head. So we know that Blake is a canine, right? Does he get zoomies? Does Blake get the zoomies? A wolf is still a canine. Hang on. I want to fact check real quick. Okay. Do wolves get zoomies? I have to know now. All creatures get the zoomies. According to some guy on Reddit. Hang on, let me grab it. Let me show this shit. I'm gonna show this shit. Adjust that. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna fucking show you. Just, damn it, my water bottle. Alright, right here. Hang on, let me adjust that, and, right here, right there. It's, yeah, I can barely fucking see it. But it says right there, all creatures get the zoomies. Which means that Blake can get the zoomies. But is he too depressed to get zoomies? Is the depression too great? I don't know. Yes, I do know that Joel is a beagle. Bear zoomies. Oh god, that'd be terrifying. Be adorable, but fucking terrifying. I'd fucking cry out of fear. I would. I'd cry. Okay, bye. He didn't let any obstacles stop him, always trying to find another way through, and I liked that very much. Crocodile zoomies sound worse. No, they don't get zoomies, they just roll. Just like Ryan. I closed the door and walked to my desk. I assumed Patrice had texted me, but I was wrong. It was Ryan. I heard what happened from Patrice. Are you okay? Did you do anything inappropriate? I'm worried that it might have gone too far. He looked mortified, so I sent him to your place in order to apologize because I don't want you to stay upset for too long. I see that you're not reading. I wish I could call, but I'm busy right now. Something happened at work and I don't have enough time to help you. If it was 4 years ago, then I'd be like, oh, that sucks, and then I'd just go about my day. But no, I fucking cry easily now. Could you do me a favor? Can you distance yourself from Patrice? He's going to hurt you again. Okay, bye. That is toxic behavior. That's a little too Leo Alvarez, Ryan. Oh god, is Ryan going to turn into fucking Leo Alvarez? I don't want that for you. There's better out there. Hopefully he'll do the right thing, because you're too nice to actually follow my advice. I'll see you at Russell's tonight. Take care. I was taken aback from those messages. Did Ryan really type this? They were coherent with what Patrice had said earlier, but I just didn't expect it. He was really trying his hardest to push Patrice out of the picture, but it won't work. I wouldn't let it happen. Weren't they friends? Why would he be so cold about this?
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
He was describing Patrice negatively to me. And now in these messages, you could really feel his disappointment toward the tiger. I didn't agree with him. I believed that Patrice was a nice guy, caring and fun to be around. Patrice himself spoke greatly of Ryan. He genuinely thought of the bear as a close friend of his. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. There had to be more going on behind the scenes, an ulterior motive, so to speak. No way I'm doing this right now. I watched the pile of books sitting right in front of me, untouched and gathering dust. Nope, I could never get this started today. My mind hasn't recovered yet. I took a shower instead to clear my mind off things, and waited for the moon to take its rightful place in the skies. We're gonna die. I enjoyed the view. Looking at it felt enchanting, calming my soul with its positive energy. Blake and I related on that matter at least. Time to go. Walking under the moonlight was nice. I found myself staring at the moon multiple times while walking down the road, listening to the nature in the background through my headphones. It was crowded, so I'd hoped to see people heading to the same place as me, but instead they would stop at the sparkling cafes sitting on the main road, not bothering to get deeper inside and finding the hidden gem waiting for them. Truly disappointing. They're missing out. For shame. I stood outside the cafe where I was able to distinguish some vague shapes, but their voices were drowned by the walls. I heard a rustling from the side of the building, and upon closer inspection, I saw a shadow moving around the corner. Russell himself? Someone else working with him? I didn't care enough to investigate further and walked in. Russell's welcoming face was the first thing I saw, sweeping the floor near the entrance. Good evening. He raised his face to stare at me a little bit, then greeted me before I'd walk away. You look surprised to see me here. You noticed that? I assumed you were in the back. I sensed movement there. Russell grunted a bit as realization struck him, then dropped the broom he was holding and rushed outside. I see. Now that I thought about it, that shadow was too small to be Russell's. He didn't need help. His face spelled anger rather than fear. I assumed someone was doing something they weren't supposed to. I shrugged and walked deeper in to meet my friends at the counter. Patrice immediately noticed me from the entrance and approached me before I could greet the others. Wait, stop here for a second. Is something wrong? He seemed concerned about something and my brain quickly thought of Ryan. I looked behind him but didn't see the bear. He wasn't sitting at the counter with the others. Do you know what's happening between Clyde and Blake? My brow furrowed in confusion. Those weren't the names I expected to hear at the moment.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
And just like that, I'm out of water. My brow furrowed in confusion. Those weren't the names I expected to hear at that moment. Another glance behind him showed that they were strangely quiet, minding their own business and avoiding conversation. Except Dylan, he didn't look like he cared. No? Shit. I thought maybe you could tell me. Maybe they had some argument after we all split? After lunch, they had wanted to discuss something with Liam in private, but I had no idea what that could have been. I would have liked to get some beer, maybe offer one or two to them, and start some small talk, but Russell's gone. He should be outside. He left in a hurry after I told him someone meddling in the back. Oh, show me. I was about to point to where I saw movement, but I encountered Russell and Liam instead. Lynx was suspiciously holding something behind his back, and away from Russell, who seemed to be demanding to see it. Oh, shit. What are you two doing outside? Patrice approached first, then I followed suit.
Me? I'm warming up for tonight's exploration. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of cursed imagination. Early 2010s energy.
The smirk on his face spelled it out for me, la critura. In what world would you classify tormenting passers-by with your drone a warm-up? With his what? I think he's talking about those tiny helicopters you can fly around.
I just wanted to give them a little scare, nothing too troublesome. Adrenaline never killed anyone.
Russell gave a frustrated sign, forcefully spun Liam around so that we could take a look at what he was hiding. Is that his drone? I couldn't really understand what I was looking up. It was a black indistinguishable mess. If anyone else saw it, they'd think it's a giant spider or something. If that flew toward me, I'd freak the fuck out. You'd be lucky if someone doesn't break it.
That's fine, I wouldn't care. All I want to see is that panicked reaction from people. I miss that so bad. These days have been so boring trying to be nice and stuff.
Aw, damn. If this was him being nice, I wouldn't want to see him when he's not holding back. I'll take this for now. Russell snatched it from his hands. Liam tried to grab it back, but the bull was twice his size, so he just raised his arms away from him.
Hey, that's mine!
You'll have your toy back before you depart. I refuse to babysit you the whole time.
You're so annoying!
Look, I came here to ask for beers. I'll take care of that now. Luckily, Toda has been disabled. Russell left, leaving us two and a sulking Liam behind. Patrice was staring at him without saying a word. He clearly wanted to engage, but their unresolved history was holding him back. Do you know what happened between Blake and Clyde? They seem to be avoiding each other.
Obviously, I know, because I'm the one who made it happen.
Is this a part where you feel bad about it coming, or... Liam laughed, and I really didn't want to continue this conversation. But I needed to know how he did that. Liam, can you tell us what happened? I'll try to get them closer again. Liam stared at Patrice the same way the tiger did before. I feel like they could talk to each other without words.
Do I have to spell it out for you? It's that simple.
Please. Liam rolled his eyes. He didn't want to say anything, but somehow Patrice could get him to talk.
The stray cat incident. You should know what it is.
I didn't. Oh yeah, I remember that. Great.
I'm being blamed for it. Blake thinks I did it, but Clyde believes me, and that caused the tension. I was asked to either find the real culprit that scarred Blake or be expelled.
I don't believe you did that. His expression softened, giving us a glimpse behind that mask he carried.
Go tell that to everyone, I guess. I'm going back inside.
His softness was short-lived. Liam ran away from Patrice, instead of giving him that stinging clapback he liked to wield. That didn't go well. True, I thought he'd bring up his sister, but he didn't. Ugh, too much chaos tonight. I don't want to add another problem to the pile. Don't worry, Patrice. I know how it feels to run away from your responsibilities. I'm serious! I shrugged. Regardless, something so important should be focused on. I'll help those two first, then Ryan. Then last but not least, we're going to tackle Liam. I could see why he and Ryan were friends. They shared the same brain cell. Before you do that, could you tell me about the stray cat incident? You don't know about it? Basically, someone let a wild cat loose on campus. It attacked a lady that was walking by, and Blake, who happened to be there, jumped in to defend her. He captured the cat, but hurt himself in the process. You saw a scar, right? That's where he got hit. Oh! Yeah, I'm sure it sucked, and I can see why I'd think Liam did that. I wish I could have testified in his favor, but I didn't have any proof to back him up. I see. Thanks for telling me. Now I have the full picture. Really wanted to take a break, but Ryan was on his way here. He might show up at a moment's notice. Man, I'm so thirsty! It's time for a beer or two. And the sudden scream caught me off guard, but maybe he was trying to get rid of all the stress he had. Are you joining us? Soon, go ahead. He tapped my back and smiled. Don't take too long, it won't be the same without you around. Shirt I'm wearing is fucking raggedy. But all my shirts are raggedy in some way. I waited for Ryan outside under the moonlight. Looking for someone? His voice came from behind me, the opposite direction he was meant to come from. Felt relieved to hear him nonetheless, so I turned but I froze upon laying my eyes on him. Ryan? Don't worry, I'm okay. Ow! What happened? I cut myself on the jaw while fixing a car, so clumsy of me. Did it hurt? It stings a little, but I told you, it's nothing to write home about. Thank you for being considerate, though. How did it go with Patrice? We talked things out. I decided to share with him why I reacted the way I did, and some other bits about my family. That's great! I could feel the warmth of his voice fading away. I know you're trying to keep me safe, but isn't Patrice your friend too? Of course he is! His voice sharpened, almost as if to tell me the opposite, but he never really went that route. So, isn't it too much to ask me to end my friendship with him? It was a suggestion, don't take it so seriously. He sounded cold and disappointed, but instead of telling me exactly what he was thinking, he smiled to cheer me up and clear any doubts that formed in my mind. Is there something I should know? You mentioned Patrice did bad things before. Everything's fine, I trust your judgment. It doesn't sound like it's fucking fine, Ryan. I sang Kill Bill for you by SZA. I sang Kill Bill for you. Everything's fine. Trust your judgment. He closed himself off. No matter how hard I extended my hand forward, he refused to grab it. That doesn't really answer my question. I have nothing else to say. An awkward pause ended our discussion. Are you coming in? I want to grab some food before leaving. Just like that, his personality rewinded back to before our conversation started, displaying that warmth I'd assumed to be gone. I'll be in there in a second, okay? Mom just texted me. Sure, I'll say hi to the others. I didn't know what to think. I unlocked my phone and read through his messages one more time, just to convince myself that nothing was wrong. He was concerned about me, right? That's all there was to this. What else could it have been? Maybe he needed time to adjust? Patrice would show him how nice he is and prove to Ryan that what happened today was basically a blunder. He wasn't fully at fault. I guess I should have said that out loud. But it's up to them to figure it out. I walked inside, having dragged on this monologue for too long. They were all waiting for me.
About time. I wasn't going to give the same speech twice.
You only waited for 5 minutes at most.
Time is important. You should never waste it.
If you cared even a little about your fantasy, you'd better move on and talk. Russell was still angry about Liam's drone stunt, and I understood where he was coming from. Passers-by were a luxury around here, and he was scaring them off. Blinks promptly laughed at him and pulled out a book for all of us to see. Ghost hunting for dummies? Hey, I'm a dummy! It says so in the title. Patrice read the cover out loud only for him to enter a laughing fit. Are you serious? That's, friendly?
I thought it was funny.
Come on now. We've gathered here to assist him in his search. Might as well see it through to the end. Hey, if this is the level of scary I have to face, I'm all for it. Okay, let's see what's in here. If it's blank, I'm going to piss my pants. You know what I gotta do? I go, if it's blank, I'm going to piss my pants. First 2 pages showed us an unfinished map of the castle with notes and ideas of new possible paths and what we could theoretically see on the way. I see you've added the church as well.
You told me everything this morning in class, remember? It saved me the phone call. I will personally go check it out when we split up.
This is a basement, after the library. Don't go in there, it's dangerous. An indoor greenhouse. What a strange location. Are you sure this is correct? I saw it myself, there's no mistake. I will take a guess and say Dylan saw it too. I did. I was the one cutting a path through the vines. I'd like to see it. The map was surprisingly useful. It helped us share information faster than I expected.
I made only 4 because we're exploring in pairs.
Don't lose it!
I won't be around explaining stuff.
Liam flipped to the next page, a page about ghosts and what to do if one appeared.
I wanted to make a little drawing here, but I'm not good at it.
I went ahead to read some of the text for myself, but there wasn't much to find. Red ghosts run and hide, blue ghosts ignore. Why is that? Aren't they supposed to be transparent? I thought ghosts were white. That is, if they ever existed to begin with.
If they're cursed, their color changes.
Is that it? No explanation given? I did want to know the difference, as crazy as it sounded. Colors meant something?
It's for dummies! Remember, I gave you the simplest version possible, but if you care to learn more, I did explain more at the end. I needed to make sure the most important things were in front.
I could check it out later, then. Be respectful of your surroundings. Don't make noise, don't break anything, and take it slow. Patrice read another line, unimpressed. This sounds like a school trip. Joel compared it to a museum, and you're giving it the same vibe.
You could find traps. I'd recommend running only if there's no other option available.
I suppose that makes a little sense. The floor didn't look stable. I'd rather not see anyone falling through. Another page showed 2 rings. They looked exactly the same. Only the stone in each was different.
My sister is most likely wearing this ring here.
Liam pointed at the blue ring in the picture. What about the red one, then? Blinks promptly pulled out the real thing from his pocket.
This one's mine. It was a birthday gift. I'm assuming she's still wearing hers.
He also included a picture of them together, but I guess she'd most likely be unrecognizable. Can I ask you a question regarding this thing right here? Clyde brought us back to the map, addressing one of the handwritten notes Liam added. Something called a safe room followed by multiple question marks.
It's technically a clean space for him ghosts that we can use to rest and recharge.
I see. And why is it written like that?
I'm not sure where it could be. That's why you see those question marks.
I have something important to say.
Yes?
Let's say I found your sister. What do you want me to do afterwards?
You leave her where she is, wait for me in the safe room, and I'll do the rest.
Alright, I get the gist of things now. He does? I still find this insane. Hopefully I'm not the one who finds her!
I also read some more hypothetical scenarios you guys can read while Ryan drives us back to the castle.
He walked in my direction and handed me a similar looking bag to the one I saw yesterday. He didn't register the exact situation properly and just took it off his hands, only for the bag to drag me down with its weight. Why is it so heavy? Ryan came to my rescue and took this boulder away from me.
It's really not.
Alright, being indirectly called a weakling sure was nice. I'm adjusting my microphone level. Ah, yes! This is my calling. Ryan passed the bag over to the tiger. Oh. I hated how he looked at me. He was absolutely judging me for losing the bag. Shut up. Don't you dare. Are we going to split again like yesterday?
For sure, but if that doesn't reassure you guys, I'll take a look around first to double check whether it's safe.
Silence. We didn't say anything. It was a lot to take in considering how much we'd heard already today. I wouldn't blame anyone if they ever decided to step away now that we were about to leave. That is, if anyone believed what he had told us. It felt as though we were passively taking it all in without actually understanding the situation. I was strangely drawn to the castle, and I didn't understand why. Was everyone else experiencing this feeling too? Time to depart, correct? Clyde took a deep breath, clutching his bag closer to his chest. I'm supposed to return this book tonight. That means I can't run away from this. Are you sure? I feel like you're trusting Liam too easily. Blake, you didn't see what I saw. He might be telling the truth after all. Let's not spoil the night. I'm not discussing this in front of everyone. Things between them were still tense regardless of how hard they tried to look casual about it. I understand. Clyde inhaled and exhaled, letting out small puffs of smoke and ashes. Allow me to be honest with you, Blake. I need the opportunity to do what's right instead of having my path blocked. I will give you what you want, but it has to be delivered my way. He surprised us all with that response, Blake included. His words hung in the air, leaving the wolf stunned. I disagree, but you're the one in charge. Anyhow, I'm right here, so get a clue already. He pulled out a cigarette and walked away, but we both noticed a slight shift in his demeanor.
I'm going to pack our things. Dylan!
Just say you want me to do it! The crocodile scoffed and hurried out after him. I'll join you soon. Clyde left as well, but walked through a different exit to be alone. You guys know what happened between them. I thought they were like best buddies or something. I need to talk with the owner. Be right back. Russell left as well, and Patrice explained the entire situation all over again to Ryan. Watching them interact this casually felt so jarring. It almost convinced me that all the problems were in my head and nothing was wrong here. Should I check on Clyde? It's been a minute. He could use a reminder just in case. We'll see what the others are doing in the meantime. Blake was in plain sight, leaning against a pole, smoking his cigarette while staring at the moon. A small puff of smoke came out of his mouth and rose up into the sky after inhaling the fumes. I take it that we're going? There was a tinge of sadness in his voice. He took another long drag of his cigarette, finished the entire thing, and discarded it in the small trash bin nearby. Wanted to say something, but it felt inappropriate. Ryan placed his paw on my shoulder as we watched Blake enter the car, and I added mine on top of his. I'm sure he's been thinking about it. I know, I just wish we could speed it up. I feel you. Dylan started honking, giving us an absolutely unnecessary scare. I want to leave! He continued to honk the horn, and he most likely wouldn't stop until we joined him. I pinched the bridge of my nose, annoyed. We had been needing some noise. That's what I prevented last time. I'll get him away from the driver's seat. Ryan rushed towards the car, and I followed after him. The two were pushing each other, trying to take control over the seat, and it surprised me how much Ryan struggled to get the upper hand. Dylan must have been really tough considering how he easily outpowered Patrice. I would never want to be on his bad side. We're here! We're here! Patrice joined us with Clyde in tow. The dragon silently seated himself in the corner, away from everyone else and opposite to Blake. Ryan managed to pull Dylan out in those seconds of hesitation from the others arriving. And so the squabble ended. Everyone's seated. You can drive now. I placed myself in the front seat next to Ryan, just like yesterday, and after a few hiccups, the car started and we drove back to the forest. Not everyone was talking. Some voices were missing. Clyde and Blake didn't engage in any conversation, just watched the scenery go by. How are you doing? I gave him a subconscious smile. Just seeing that he noticed and asked was reassuring me. Don't get distracted. You haven't learned the route yet. Yes, I did. Tell him, Patrice. He tends to memorize roads fast. Can't say the same for school material, though. You could have stopped at the compliment. Patrice leaned forward, placing his head between us. You're always fishing for those, but I'm the wrong person. Ryan blushed, and when he had a chance to freely move his hand, pushed him back to his seat, grumbling words under his breath I couldn't catch. Be careful. He deserved it. I found him cute. The way he reacted was one of those things I liked most about him. Especially how, by looking at me, he'd calm down and smile back. The campsite wasn't far, and with a few minutes left of traveling, I wanted to go back to Liam's book and read some more of the flavor text in the back he mentioned. Ah, I see. Ryan briefly glanced over in my direction and saw what I was doing. Wonder how he came up with all that in such a short amount of time. Spent some time reading and discovering generic ghost trivia that personally didn't convince me, but it was interesting nonetheless. He was creative at least. I wanted to hear about the colors. Does it say why some are blue and others are red? That reminded me I also wanted to check that out. I skimmed through the pages and found the flavor text I was looking for. The book says that red ghosts are evil, vengeful, and can't distinguish friend from foe. It's best to avoid them entirely or pay the consequences. Well, that wasn't so bad. I understood that perfectly, making it too complicated my ass. Blue ones, instead, don't care about you and can be approached with caution. It's recommended to avoid confrontation regardless. I'd love to chat with a ghost. I'm adding that to my bucket list. It says that you shouldn't because it can turn into red ghosts under certain circumstances. I feel like everything in that book wants to kill you somehow. Liam wrote it. Exactly my point. Can we drop the ghost talk now? Can we hang on, I'm gonna do the voice. Can we drop the ghost talk now? It's not bad, but I'm growing uncomfortable. Oh, sorry, I didn't think you were listening. I just noticed the car had gone quiet. You must have been the only ones talking at this point, so it was basically impossible to not listen to our discussion. We've arrived. I walked out and stretched a little. There was a strange smell in the air I couldn't quite define. Ryan waited for everyone to exit the car before locking it. I took our bag and passed it to Patrice. We gotta walk through that forest, huh? It's an awkward trail. Very easy to lose your footing and hurt yourself.
Stay close to Dylan, then. He can easily hold you.
That got me thinking about all the possible scenarios, and I came to the conclusion that Dylan wouldn't save anyone. Or if he truly tried, he'd reach for any part of your body within grab range, making the rescue look awkward and uncomfortable. Somehow I feel safer alone. I also don't feel like tripping tonight. Just watch where you step. You'll be fine. We're gonna die. We walked through the main path and reached the old campfire site. This place felt nostalgic for some reason. It's only been one day, yet it didn't feel like that at all. I wanted to go back to that night. Everyone looked so much happier then, didn't they?
Okay, get closer now. I'd rather not lose any of you before reaching our destination.
The bushes and leaves rustled as he pushed them out of the way to make space for us. At first my nose could barely pick up that strange odor, but now it was growing stronger and more present. I had no idea what it was, but I personally didn't like it. It was something I've never smelled before. Can you smell that? Am I supposed to? Forget about it. Can you hallucinate smells? Is that even possible? I managed to get through the forest without slipping this time around. The old rusty gate was just a few steps away, so we took a small break to rest and gather up. I was happy to see Blake approaching Clyde to check on him. It's always hard to keep pretending to be upset. When you love your friends, those negative feelings never last. Sorry, I had to sneeze. When you love your friends, those negative feelings never last too long. How are you feeling? All good. I can keep going. I walked up to the main group, but slowed down in my tracks to observe Dylan and Liam instead. They were usually a bit further away from us while staying in close proximity. Dylan was holding his nose, just like I was before. He must have been feeling it as well.
You guys done catching your breath? Let's get inside already.
Liam was growing impatient, just like last time. It was the only occasion where I've ever seen him truly upset. The castle's towers were now fully visible as we got closer to the main entrance. Fucking feel congested right now. Fuck. I remembered that old fountain full of debris, built exactly in the middle of what could have been a small plaza in the past. Yeah, the castle isn't going to walk away. It might float away, but it's not going to walk away. We walked through, ignoring everything around us to get inside. My body shivered when a chilling wind began blowing behind us, almost trying to push us in. Oh, Haya. Okay. I swear to God, this is going to be a situation. I swear to God. I will laugh my ass off. I will fucking die laughing if there's ever a situation where, Liam, I can't find the castle.
What do you mean you can't find the castle?
I mean, I can't find the castle.
If I go over to where the castle is and see the castle there, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Go ahead. I can't find the fucking castle. Then Liam goes in. He can't find the castle either. He's like,
What the actual fuck?
my body shivered when a chilling wind began blowing behind us, almost trying to push us in. It wasn't raining at least. Liam pushed the door open, making us hear that awful creaking noise again. A putrid, disgusting smell welcomed me when I stepped into the lounge. It was unbearable. So strong and pungent I was tearing up, and breathing through my shirt did nothing. Where the fuck is the Moonlight Castle?
Where the fuck is the Moonlight Castle?
I don't know, Liam. We have castle at home.
Hey, Joel, can we have Moonlight Castle?
No, we have Moonlight Castle at home. Moonlight Castle at home. And you just see a fucking picture of McDonald's or some shit. It was unbearable, so strong and pungent I was tearing up, and breathing through my shirt did nothing. Dylan began cursing out loud, only for sudden coughing to stop him. This is bad! The atmosphere. This place wasn't the same anymore. I could tell something happened here while we were gone. What was that smell? I'd never smelled something so rancid before. When the castle at home is made of Legos. Nah, because we don't got Legos at home. We don't got castles at home. We don't got Legos at home, we got Playmobil. Oh, it's like rotting, expired food? Nope, that would never be so powerful. You okay? Why are you holding your shirt like that? You don't feel it. Feel what? I glanced over my friends and realized that not everyone was affected. It was impossible to ignore even if you tried. I didn't know ghosts had an odor. This shit is gonna make my nose bleed. Is this one of those things normal people can't sense? I'm content with not knowing. Then describe it to me.
Of course they don't smell. This is...
Liam held his tongue, uncertain about revealing that information. The ground's moving. An earthquake? Everyone out, now!
Wait, don't leave!
Liam tried to keep the group close to him, but that didn't make sense. It wasn't safe for us to stay inside, not until the shaking had stopped. It started weak, but slowly built its way up to a strong, violent movement, the kind that wouldn't let you walk without tripping. Blake took the lead and motioned the group outside, doing his best to keep us steady so nobody would trip on their way out, only for Dylan to stand in our way to prevent us from leaving. What are you doing if this place collapses? Says we're going to die. You will die if you leave. He froze for a second after hearing that. He exclaimed that with such confidence one would actually believe him if we weren't in a life-threatening situation right now. There's no time! Move! When the wolf tried taking action to squeeze himself through, Dylan growled and attempted to shove him away from the door. Blake, who picked up on his intentions, took a step backward and stared at him in disbelief. My head also began throbbing. The earthquake and the infighting wasn't enough, apparently. Rocks began falling outside near the entrance where Blake wanted us to go. That quickly turned into a rock slide that ended with a giant boulder crashing in front of the door, locking us in. A massive wave of dust and sand formed upon impact, creating a wall of smoke that decreased our visibility. I could barely even see myself, but that didn't matter. I was hoping the others were unharmed. Is everyone okay? I could hear Patrice's crying voice even before Ryan yelled. We all gathered around Patrice and felt relieved upon seeing them all safe and sound. That was it. The earthquake stopped, everything was quiet again, and we all watched in horror at the end result. Shut up! Dylan glared at the shaken-up tiger who had curled up on the floor, completely overwhelmed by the situation.
Great! If I had known this would happen, I would have explored the church first.
Is it all over? Are we safe? Yeah, take a deep breath. We're done. I kneeled down and held his hand. Are we trapped in here? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just noticed Russell's eyes. I just noticed Russell's eyes. Elaborate. Nah, he asked me, but anyone could have answered that. The main entrance is gone, but we can still sneak out through a window. Technically, we didn't know how much damage the castle had received. We had to find a different way out regardless. We should look for an exit and get Patrice back to the car. If Liam wants to keep playing games, he can.
We can't leave. If you try that again, Dylan won't save you from becoming an omelet.
What are you talking about? That was a coincidence, wasn't it? Please, nobody can artificially cause an earthquake.
I don't expect you to believe everything I'm saying, but at least understand that this place isn't the same as yesterday. You can feel that, right?
I was afraid to admit it.
Then look around the lounge, see if you can figure it out.
What is he talking about? Try not to listen. I don't want you to have another episode. Something different about the lounge itself feels hard to tell now with this dust cloud around us. I took Liam's book from the bag and compared the current room with the map. Wait, the layout, has it changed? Ryan took it from my hands to see himself. Huh? It's just a drawing. Surely it's not too different from... Okay, are you guys remembering it right? Because if we trust the map, then... Are you trying to say the walls moved and changed position? Of course not. But how can we explain this? We just went through a fairly strong earthquake. The map isn't reliable anymore. Russell walked up to the boulder and pushed. Maybe we can just move it out of the way. Let me try. Be careful. We can't see if there's more than one and you could get hurt. The two combined their strength, but the rock didn't budge an inch from where it landed. It's stuck. Liam rolled his eyes, approached Patrice, and helped him up.
Can you walk on your own?
I guess so.
Let's find that safe room and have them stay there for now.
Sure. Better than seeing them on the floor. It could be anywhere. I'd rather wait here until you find it.
I do know where it is now.
You said you were unsure.
That was before the earthquake and before the room layout suddenly changed. A safe room is not affected by any of this, and I remembered one unexplored hallway that's somehow still accurate to my map. Nobody went that way, but if that hallway hasn't changed, that means it's very close. Follow me.
We moved after Liam into the dark corridor and noticed the increased level of neglect in this hallway. Most of my attention was on Patrice as I helped him walk through the rubble and dust. I should apologize for making you do this. Huh? Why? God damn it, I can't see the map. I came here with the intention of setting the record straight, but I ended up behaving the same way. I'm relapsing and it sucks! What did I say to you before? That I'd be supporting you regardless. I do remember that. So, should your priority be right now? Taking a break, I guess? Yup. They can figure something out while we gather our energy for another attempt if you feel like it. Okay, we'll do that. I saw the others attempt to open some of the doors while Liam kept walking straight ahead. Did you know they were all locked without checking first? This is the same situation again. Expand on that. We're following a path someone else made for us, like it's on purpose.
Some doors are just for show, most likely fake to create hesitation and anxiety.
I feel none of that. You can take your time and inspect everything.
You're not being chased yet.
Patrice gulped in response. He didn't say anything, but I knew he heard that out loud and clear.
It should be in this room.
Those doors at the end of the hallway led to the dining hall, no doubt about it. They effortlessly spread open for all of us, and Liam stepped inside first. Or that's what I thought would happen. He instead stopped on the border between the two, staring at something up ahead. I could see a faint light through the gaps, but I couldn't make it out until I got closer. Some candles were sitting on that table. Oh shit, are you okay? Hey, Axel, are you okay? Some candles were sitting on that table, giving a nice warm light to the dark environment around us. On any other occasion, I would have liked to see this because I like candles. But here, if none of us did that, then there's only one possible explanation. We should leave. If someone else is here, things could get difficult to handle.
Get inside. Let's sit down and discuss this.
You're really testing my patience here. We did as he asked and fully entered the room. I went to the candles right away and noticed one in particular giving a soft blue light instead of orange like the others. They were nice, comforting, and giving off a positive energy, but the frightening question behind their existence remained. Clyde walked up to me, gave the candles a brief look, and then covered his mouth to hold in a gasp. 8. There are 8 candles. They were scattered across the table, so it didn't hit me right away, but it's true. Exactly 8. The same as us. They're welcoming us. What's the problem? I didn't like that at all. Who was welcoming us? How could he smile at me like that after saying something so creepy? Did you put these here? Liam raised a brow, then laughed at the question.
Of course I did. I came here long before you guys and prepared these candles in advance to give you a little fright. Such a jokester I am.
Dude, that's a legit question. You could just say no.
Forgive me if it gets on my nerves when everyone sees something strange and always points their fucking finger at me.
I knew coming here was a mistake. I'll look for a way out and come back once I find it. I will help you, but first hear him out.
If Dylan will be by your side, then I have nothing to worry about. Patrice and Joel should stay here and wait for us to return.
Yeah, I expected that. Just for a little bit?
No, not for a little bit. Don't you dare leave this room, idiot!
Patrice didn't fight him on that, but I could see that he disagreed with Liam. When and where do we meet up?
Here, in 1 hour. I'll try to be done fast.
Wasn't I supposed to return this book?
You still can, but now that the map is unreliable, you have to do that yourself.
I don't like that. You should also stay here with Joel and Patrice. Don't worry about it, Clyde will be with me. Nothing will happen to him. Blake sighed, then faced Clyde again. Are you sure about this, Clyde? Yes, I need to go out there. Wolf reluctantly agreed and charged at Liam, pressuring him for more answers. Answer me, Liam. What was that smell about, and why can't I sense it? Liam turned in his direction, then fidgeted a little bit, wondering if he could give Blake the answer he wanted to hear, but eventually gave in to his demand.
It's a smell of death. An unmistakable stench of decomposed bodies.
I felt like throwing up. Of course I couldn't have understood what that was. Oh yeah? That doesn't answer my question in full. Liam was lost in his thought, struggling to admit the truth, afraid to say it. Say it or we're all leaving right now.
That would get you killed. You saw it.
It's all a bunch of coincidences. There's no proof anything you said is real. I could see Clyde clutching his bag tighter to his chest. Blake. He wanted to chime in the conversation only for Blake to snap back at him. Stay out of this! Liam sighed, visible regret painted all over his face for what he was about to reveal.
Mediums are the only ones who can sense it.
I felt strange. My mind didn't get the opportunity to either agree or disagree with that statement because my body was reacting on its own like a natural response. Pardon me? Wolf grunted, displaying skepticism. We all looked at each other in surprise, seeking further approval, with Dylan being the only one unfazed by the revelation. Do you vouch for him, then? Blake also noticed that and asked the crocodile. Yes, everything he said is true. Wolf backed away and the room fell quiet. Dylan had no reason to lie to us since it wouldn't benefit him in any way.
I hope you're happy, Blake! You push your friends one step closer to the edge.
Fuck off, Liam! Blake hurried away, causing Dylan to roll his eyes and follow suit. I'm also capable of smelling that odor. I had noticed, and with this new information, I was still processing what it meant for us both.
I don't need to repeat myself. What are you going to do? I'm fine with going alone as well.
I'm still interested in seeing this place up close, so show me.
If that's what you want.
Russell accepted the situation incredibly quickly as if he had expected this. I had to admit, I did consider this possibility too, but I never took it seriously. The pair left shortly after, and the bear looked like he was waiting for them to go away. Ryan stared at me, wanting to probe my mind and figure out what my intentions were. I'm taking Clyde to the library. Wait for us to return so I can tell you whether the castle's safe for Patrice. That was not my choice to make, but I wasn't in the position to tell him that. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was thinking about Liam and what he said just now. You're not the only one. It caught me by surprise how 4 of us showed some sort of connection with the occult. Ryan scoffed, showing his pure skepticism. Yeah, sure, Liam is a liar. Dylan would say anything he was asked to if money is involved. And Russell and Joel are just letting their words get to them. Then why would you need to check whether the castle is safe if you don't believe him? When you're scared, you tend to see things that don't exist, so I'm planning to reassure you by checking it all out for you and Joel. You two look pale, and Liam didn't help with this crazy ghost speech. Clyde looked at his book one more time with uncertainty, then walked through the door. I personally don't need confirmation, as long as you return this book where I found it. You could literally ditch it right now and nothing would happen, but I understand. Don't fuck with the occult. Okay? Don't fuck with the supernatural. Clyde, return it where you found it. Ryan sought approval from me, so I nodded back. He closed the door and left us alone in that dusty dining room. Tiger exhaled. His body gave up to gravity as it hit the table. I could feel his ever-growing concern now that he was unable to keep a stoic face toward the situation. It's real, Joel. He buried his hand between his arms, overwhelmed by the reality that came crashing down on him. Everything he told us, everything I pretended not to hear, it's all real! My eyes moved along his features as I caressed his orange fur. He opened up like a clam, and revealed to me that instinctive fear he'd always lost to. We're gonna leave off here tonight. I know it's early. Yeah, I know it's early. But we're gonna leave off here tonight because there is a thing going on in the Wayfinder Discord server. If it's still going on, I'm going to hang out there for a bit. So yeah. Well, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.